In this video I'm going to be going over the modded map Fjordur in Ark Survival Evolved. So of course the map is pretty big. It's not the biggest map ever, but it does expand in other ways, which I'll talk about later in the video. But this first area is kind of this pine tree area. As you can see here, there's lots of, these huge plains or just cliff areas with a bunch of canyons that have pine trees all over them, and I think it does look pretty cool with all these rivers. And there's a lot of custom buildings, like right here there's the bridges, and then there's like huge waterfalls as well. And there's a lot of the Genesis Part 2 assets in here as well. I believe all the waterfalls are now Genesis Part 2 assets, which makes them look even better. And of course there's some other things from that map as well. There's also a lot of ruins or structures, kind of like Ragnarok, but I believe there's even more right here. As you can see, there's an entrance to the cave, a cave. The cave is massive, and then there's of course huge waterfalls as well. Here's another giant castle on the side of a cliff here. This one's kind of cool. It's like a fort. Next is the Redwoods area. Now this area has custom redwood trees instead of just using the same ones. I think they look pretty cool for the style of the map. And there's this pretty decently sized redwoods area, of course, with more castles in it. And then there's also an Arctic snow area. This map also has custom obelisks, I think look really cool, which teleports you to the other realms, which we'll talk about later. So of course there is the Redwoods area, which looks pretty cool right here. And then there's also, these like custom buildings, so you can actually build inside of them. And then there's this area, which is kind of like, fall time. I guess it's got like orange, red, yellow leaves all over, and it's right underneath the Arctic areas usually. These areas also look pretty cool. There's also custom boss fights as well. Like in here, there's a spider cave. Going into the Arctic area, there's a few mountains with Arctics in them. In this area, it looks super similar to the like second level from Skyrim, I gotta say. And then there's of course another castle right here on the side. And this one actually like has a bridge between two different ones, and it's built in the cliffs, which I think looks really cool. Then there's a swamp. Now this is probably the coolest swamp I've ever seen. All of the trees and all that are custom made, just like a lot of the trees and all the other assets are custom made in here. There's like smoke coming out, and then there's these custom bridges that look all ominous, and then they've got even these little huts that are covered in moss and vegetation and all that. The caves in here are absolutely amazing, as you can see from just a few of these. This is probably one of the coolest areas in the caves in my opinion, because it's just this huge open area. And then of course there's all kinds of different areas, like you can get rock tricks here. There's also things like shipwrecks on the side of the oceans, and then there's areas like this with waterfalls, and then the wyvern area and stuff. And then there's a volcanic island, so it's just an island full of the volcanic stuff. It even has some of these sulfur lakes from the extinction map, or the wasteland area, so you can get all the resources from there. And this area also has some of the area from Genesis Part 1, like this area, which is kind of like a tar pit area, or like oil place. And then there's even a wyvern trench. This one only spawns fire wyverns, but there's also different wyvern trenches that spawn different wyverns. And also under the wyvern trench is a magmasaur trench, so you can go get magmasaur eggs right under that. And of course it's got all the Genesis 1 stuff. Next is the other realms we're talking about, and how you get to them is by going to those custom obelisks. This one is found in the Arctic area. If you go there and use the 5 rune stones to teleport this biome, you'll make it to this realm, which is called Jodenheim. It's basically just a Arctic area. It is negative 130 degrees, so you have to have some serious gear to even survive in this area. And there's some cool areas like this ice wyvern trench as well, so you can spawn the ice titan and fight it, as well as some of these cool ice spike areas, and then some other cool red trees as well, which you can find with some custom foliage. This also has a custom creature, which is the Fenrir, which is basically a giant wolf. This thing has a few different abilities, like being able to put ice around itself to make it more more resistant to damage, as well as other cool abilities. This next realm was just added last week, and it is called Valenheim. It is basically a giant jungle with these massive trees, probably some of the biggest trees we've ever seen in the entire game, covering it with the leaves, so it's kind of dark in some areas with these huge flowers, and then these pinkish trees that are over the area with tons of water. It kind of gives you like an aberration feel almost. This also has a poison wyvern trench. This is where you get the poison wyverns, and this doesn't have a custom creature yet, but I'm pretty sure it will in the future. This is what the area to get to it looks like. It looks super cool, and this biome is super vibrant and colorful looking. This is the poison wyvern trench. This is where you get those, and I imagine they're gonna make an area for the lightning trench as well. And you can also spawn the forest titan in Valenheim as well. So there's also going to be a third realm, but that one hasn't been added yet. It is still being worked on, but that one's going to allow you to spawn the Desert Titan, and it's going to be pretty cool because it's going to be like a savanna desert type area. If you did enjoy that video, then make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Also, make sure to join the Discord server and follow me on Twitter. I'll have links to both of those in the description. I also have a merch store if you'd like to go buy some of that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and bye.